Welcome back to another installment of Growing Fruit in Texas. So we've done two videos with the Fruit Tree Guild talking about pruning our peaches and our plum. We have visited our lovely grape, which
Beautiful
is
grape.
Gorgeous. And now let's talk about what I think is probably the easiest thing that there is to grow, super productive, and that's a blackberry.
Yeah, it's almost a no-brainer. If you're new to fruit, this is the way to go because it's almost instant gratification.
Right.
Big juicy berries, thankfully, to some really great breeding that's been going on the last few years. But again, I think a lot of people look at the way berries are trained for production and they think, hey, it just doesn't really look the way I want it in my yard. I don't want to put up posts and wires.
It's a lot of work, and do I have to maintain it?
Yeah,
yes.
And it's going to take this big footprint up in my landscape, and what do I do with it? It doesn't fit with my posies, so what am I going to do? And the thing is, turn it into an ornamental, know, the ornamentables that we talk about all the time, where we're going to grow it in a style that fits into the urban landscape.
Right,
That's
any
the main
landscape,
thing.
actually.
Absolutely, beautiful.
And the other thing to remember, there's so many wonderful, productive, flavorful varieties that are thornless.
Right. We have a lot of thornless berries, and I like them both, so I'm not a thorn hater. But, if you have little kids around, that is something you consider, especially when you want to get them involved in harvesting, and, you want them to participate in the garden so they learn that skill.
So we are going to plant a blackberry, and we're going to do it in a method that we think would be beautiful in any landscape and very easy to maintain.
Oh,
easy to
pick.
Easy.
Silly easy to maintain.
Okay, so would you want to do the honors? You want to dig, or would you like me to?
Absolutely. I'll start.
Okay, I got it.
Don't whack you there. All right, so we have this bed, which is perfect, filled with our wonderful Arbor Gate soil.
Look at that shovel.
Just love it.
Butter.
Love it. Whoops, don't want it out of the bed. Who can take that big a shovel full out of something one time?
That's perfect. Nice.
We do want to get a decent sized hole so we can settle this in well. I may have to hand this to you to catch that side, Beverly.
Okay, sure.
We don't need a whole lot more out of there.
No, pretty close. I think we could have almost done this with our hands.
We could have. I think a hand trowel could have made that hole.
I think I may finish it up that way. What do you think?
I think we're pretty darn close.
Okay, let me put some food in there. Arbor Gate food complete.
Yep, I'm going to stir it into the soil.
Mix it in. Okay.
Okay. Then we want to kind of tilt this, loosen it a bit so we're not pulling too hard on the roots. Look at that beautiful root ball. And we want to plant it at the same depth as the original container.
Great, that looks so good. Awesome. I'll come back in later and water it in real good.
Yeah, water it in. Maybe give it a little compost before summer gets here.
Yep. And that's about it.
That's it for planting. Beautiful. So now let's do the pretty part.
This is what's great
this
right
is
here.
Beautiful. Perfect size and shape for a berry. Because once it's settled in, we can snip our ties.
And so what's so great about this trellis right here, especially the way that it's built, and we have them here any size, because this is a great technique with roses as well,
yes,
climbing roses. So what our goal is to let this berry grow up and then just drape over. so we don't have to worry about trellising it. It's a lot easier to prune, and again, we're going to get a lot more harvest.
Yep, we don't have to tie it in.
Right.
We're going to get more canes are going to shoot up from this. And once they get a little weight to them, they will naturally cascade.
Right.
And we really, even when they start cascading, we want to kind of think of these as that 4 to 5 foot. Not necessarily, we don't want them necessarily curling back down to the ground.
Right.
And tipping them off, once they reach that full length, is going to give us larger, juicier berries.
Right. And so we could have chosen one this tall, maybe even a little taller, if we wanted more vertical.
Yes, we could have.
Vertical look, and then just let it cascade over.
You know,
but this is beautiful in any landscape. Like you were mentioning, the spring blooms, because they're in the rose family.
They're in the rose family, and really the blooms are those soft pink and white, like a single rose.
Yes, and then the fall color, as you can even see here.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, burgundies and golds, so it's a great addition.
Yeah, it will trail out, and then pruning is easy after production. We just want to cut, after you've harvested everything, we want to cut back to the ground. That will stimulate new growth of canes for next year. They'll come up and they'll cascade. So really, no tying, no mess, no fuss.
No muss,
really,
no fuss.
just kind of let it do its thing. The trellis will do it all.
Plants and blackberries.